Good morning, class. Today we're going to make peanut butter cookies. So before I cook anything or bake anything, I like to have everything ready ahead of time. So I have 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And for the other dry ingredients, I have 1 1/4 cup of flour that I measured. I'm just going to take my dry ingredients that are going to go together, and I'm just going to set them into the bowl. So, flour, salt, baking soda, or baking powder, and baking soda. I'm going to take my sugars, which are also a dry ingredient, but they're going to be creamed with the butter. This is a brown sugar, so it's packed. If it's packed correctly, when it comes out, it should be the shape of the measuring cup. Granulated sugar, so 1/2 cup of each of the sugars. I'm going to add my butter. So I have a butter knife, 1 cube of butter. 1/2 cup of butter is 1 cube. So I'm going to take and I'm going to slice that with holding it up in the air, but I wanted to show you a bit. And I'm going to add it to my bowl with my sugars. Cut it up a little bit is because I'm going to use the mixer, and it doesn't work too well if I have a whole cube because it kind of bounces around within the blade. So I have to cut it up a little bit. Put this in here. Mixed up a little bit, and then I'm going to add the peanut butter, which will help cream it. So when I add the peanut butter, I'm going to use this measuring cup. So my tip is that if you spray it first, the measuring cup with the cooking spray, then when you put the peanut butter in it, it won't stick to the cup. And I want to get it even, so it measures correctly. So if I spray the cup, it's just a little bit easier to get all that peanut butter out. And just mix this on low. So I'm gonna keep mixing until it's all the butter is kind of dissolved in there and I don't see the butter anymore. So I have my egg, I cracked it in here, pour it in there, and then I'm going to cream it in with the butter. I have my butter mixture, I have my dry ingredients. So I'm just going to take my mixing spoon and I'm going to just stir my dry ingredients, and then I'm going to slowly add that into this bowl. I'm just going to take and a little bit at a time mix it in to create my cookie dough. So once I got it kind of mixed in, then I'm going to, by hand, I'm going to mix it the rest of the way. I want to make sure that all the flour is incorporated. Big clump of cookie dough. So this is, at this point, it's been handled, it's very soft. So we're gonna, we can refrigerate it for 1 hour. I'm gonna put it in a Ziploc bag and I'm gonna put it in the freezer. So it's going into the freezer in the Ziploc bag. So while I have the cookies dough in the freezer, I'm gonna do 2 things. One, I'm going to preheat my oven at this time so it's ready to go. I need to cook the cookies bake them at 375 degrees on bake. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything cleaned up. So once the cookies are done, I have not much to do. I'm going to kind of roll them. It's kind of like playing with Play-Doh. I'm going to kind of roll them and I want them about this size, about 1 inch. So I got them under the tray and I just kind of spread them out. Then I'm going to take, let me move my camera down a little bit so you can see the cookies. So then I'm going to take my fork and I am going to make this pattern. I'm going to make one little push down, and it sort of sticks as I do that. So if it starts to stick, so dip it back into the water of the fork. It works so much better. Okay. So now I have my cookies this direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the tray, and then I'm going to use the fork again the opposite direction to make like a little crisscross on them. Okay. So now they're going both directions on top. So just like a little pinch of sugar, kind of sprinkle it, kind of decorate each cookie a little bit on top with a little sugar. Not too much, just a little sprinkle. And now we're going to put these into the oven. They take about 10 minutes to bake. Stick together, so they're probably like really close. So they have a little brown to them. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to take them and I'm going to let them set for a second. Let my cookies sit for just a minute, just so they're not super hot. And then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to lift them onto the rack. So our cookies are done. When we can pick them up and hold them, then you can take them off the rack and eat them. So you can see they're a little bit brown on the bottom, just what we want. And there you have it, peanut butter cookies.